Hi, Dami. Welcome to Sweden. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
You've been flying for 28 hours.
Yes.
How's your jet lag now?
It's been already 3 days, so I'm getting used to it. Not waking up so early anymore, so yeah, adjusting.
Yeah. And you're getting enough sleep?
I think so. I get really tired from about 7 p.m. and then but yeah, I try to stay awake. So I stayed awake till 11 last night. So I'm getting there.
Yeah, you're getting there. You did your first performance yesterday, your first rehearsal. We saw it in the press center. It was amazing. But how do you feel it went?
I feel like there's still some work to do, definitely. It's the first time I saw the stage, so yeah, I just had so much going on in my head, and yeah, I think it was all right for a first run, but we've got more rehearsals, I believe, so it should be getting better and better.
Yeah. Will there be things you'll be changing? A lot of them?
Just in the details, nothing too major, but I just want to polish everything, and yeah, I guess when we have actual audience in the room, it will feel different. I always feel better when there's people watching, and so I can actually, feed off them, and I think it's a real communication that has to go on when I'm performing. So I'm looking forward to when that actually happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you tell us what your song's about?
Sound of Silence is my song, and it's about feeling distant from your loved ones. And, these days we all connect, everybody's connected through their, social media and their devices. But for some reason we feel more isolated, and we don't have that direct touch, so everyone feels more lonely. So that's the kind of message we are going for. That's the message of the song. So.
And is that imaged on screen?
Yeah, so we try to show that meaning of the song through the screens and the things that are going on stage. Yeah.
During your performance, you're wearing an amazing dress. Can you tell us who designed that?
Sorry. My dress was designed by one of my favorite Australian designers. His name is Stephen Khalil, and he's a couture designer. And yeah, he designed this one specifically for this performance. So I'm so excited that I can wear this, and I feel really good in it.
Yeah. It has a lot of diamonds. Is it heavy?
It is really, really heavy. It's not the most comfortable dress, but it looks good. So I'm just gonna have to bear with it.
Yeah. You got selected internally by Australia. How did you feel about that? Did you have to think long about saying yes to that question?
Oh, when I got offered whether I wanted to do Eurovision, I didn't have to think. I thought, is that even a question? I just said, of course, yes. I was so happy.
Why do you like Eurovision so much?
I just think, I watched it since when I was young in Australia, and it's, so much fun. I love the idea of all the countries with different backgrounds coming together in the name of song competition. I think that's just brilliant, and it's so much fun. And to be representing my country is also a big honor, and also a great way for me to share my music with the rest of the world. So it's a great opportunity for me.
Yeah. About your music, your latest CD covers the Carpenters, but you're South Korean, Australian, so you have a lot of different musical influences. Can you tell us something about that and about the Carpenters? And
of course. So I was originally born in South Korea. I migrated to Australia when I was 9 with my mum and my brother, and I started off playing classical piano, and then I got into pop music. I secretly in love with pop music, and eventually I started to sing in my bedroom, and then lots of things happened, and I auditioned for the X Factor Australia, and I somehow ended up winning that competition. So yeah, and then now I sing. I'm a singer, recording artist. But when I recorded the classic Carpenters album, I just thought, I've always loved the Carpenters music. They're just beautiful tunes, lovely melodies, and they're timeless. So I thought, why don't I make my album of it in my own style, playing the piano? And I feel so good when I sing a really good song on the piano. So that's why I decided to make this album.
And where did you learn about the Carpenters?
my parents used to play me the Carpenter songs when I was little, just driving in the car or, at home. And I just used to sing along, but I didn't know the Carpenters until I was in my 20s, and I learned, oh, so they're the Carpenters, okay. And I learned more about Karen Carpenter, her life, and it ended way too soon. And I just thought these songs are just so beautiful, and I really admire Karen's voice and her purity in the sound, so I wanted to really carry that in my own versions.
And your South Korean influences, are they incorporated in your music?
I feel like I did grow up listening to a lot of K-pop music as well, which is very popular nowadays everywhere. So I think K-pop is all about trying different sounds and experimenting with, just anything. Anything can happen in that music. There's no limit. So I think I'd like to think that's something that I am exploring in my music.
And in 2013, you became ambassador for Compassion Australia. Can you tell us something about that?
So I started sponsoring a child through an organization called Compassion, and basically they hook me up with a child who's in a poor country, and I sponsor them with how much money each month, and I can write letters, and she writes back to me, and I've been doing that since I was 17. And I thought, when I become the winner of X Factor, I want to do something meaningful with my influence. And so I thought, well, why don't I contact Compassion? And they were happy that I want to be an ambassador for them. And I ended up visiting my child in India with my husband, who was also sponsoring someone in India. So we went and visited her. And now after Eurovision is over in June, I'm going over to Uganda to meet my eighth and newest sponsor child. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm going to go there and sing to the kids there as well. So.
Oh, that's very nice. That's really nice. You're very popular in Australia. How do you think taking part in Eurovision will influence your career?
Eurovision is, one of the biggest musical events in the world, and I feel like it's such a good opportunity to broaden my fan base. So I hope to, be able to perform and tour around Europe and, other parts of the world other than Australia, and that would be my biggest dream come true.
Okay. Australia participated last year for the first time. They were invited. You were invited again this year. Are there any plans, or do you know about any plans to invite Australia again in the future?
I think that I think Eurovision will continue to have Australia in it, because I hope they do, because Australians really love Eurovision, and I think Eurovision likes to embrace more countries and invite people. So yeah.
Okay. Well, then we want to wish you all the best next week, Thursday, because you're performing the second semi-final together with Belgium, and we'll definitely see you in the finals.
I hope so. Thank you.
Thank you very much.